What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac here. Just watching some videos. Checking, I like to keep up on who's who and what's what in the real race, professional race circuit. So, how things should change. I guess Ongaro got knocked down to third. Oh, by the way, this is, you can pull this up. It's top 25 RC, which is basically, these are the top team drivers, professional team drivers, what they're running, and and as far as racing, the important things are obviously your whip, your platform, your engine, and tires can make or break you. It's been a while since I've raced. Thought about it. There isn't a lot in it in racing for me. Because again, before I touch on the next subject, the .21s just doesn't do a lot for me. And I'll get into that in a second, kind of explaining, because I had somebody made a comment, like, I guess maybe they misunderstood, like I was hating on my last video. By the way, we're also you're gonna get my final assessment, the final word, or whatever you want to call it, and what I think of the pico. Damn screen. .28. There we go. Freaking screen. What my take is on it. We'll compare. I'm just gonna give you the facts from my experience, what I like and I dislike about the pico, and compare it to the only other .28 that I probably will ever run, or and as you guys know, my favorite, the Novorossi Rex Legend 28.8. The pico is a 7-port. Not much difference there. But anyway, I don't hate, and I don't, I'm not like I said, this guy thought that, I don't know where he was misunderstood me. That, it just, my point is that a .21 does as much for me as Mr. Bodegel has said many times. Stock motors do nothing for him. Now, modified .21, different story, but still it's a .21. Okay, anyway, we'll get into that in a second. So first off, Ty Testament is this is the most recent. After the last race, Ty Testament is #1 ranked in the world in Nitro, 8-scale Nitro. I don't know if they combine truggies and buggies. This is buggy, but they race both, so I'm assuming both. He's running X-Ray, he's running OS. Okay? Now, David Ronfalk, I think he was down somewhere in top 10, maybe. He came out of nowhere. He wasn't even in the top 5, I think, last time I checked. Hot Bodies, Orion. Now, I know Orions are good motors, too. And then there's Ongaro. He's running LRP. Mayfield, this is a switch. It didn't say anything what he was running before, but obviously Mayfield has jumped ship. He's not running Reds no more. Why? I don't know, and really doesn't concern me. But Elliott, the last this race, this multiplier, whatever it's called, Boots won that one. Elliott Boots, and he's running Kyosho. So Kyosho, in the top 10, you've got 2 Associated, 2 Kyoshos, and 2 Mugans. So, and this only applies if you're race-inspired. If you're not race-inspired, and you're not concerned about what guys are racing, and you don't race, then this means dick. Okay? Like, this only means a lot to you if you're one of two people. You're race-inspired, which means you don't have to race to be race-inspired. You just like what guys race. You're interested in what the pros are running. And obviously, if you're a racer, then you probably might want to do your homework and take a look at, that's, I know, and I talked to Raja 111, by the way. What's up, Raja? Peace. Raja's a full-on low-C guy, man. As much as, there's a couple guys that I know. John's low-C diehard, too. John's just so caught up in, he's so deep embedded in fit skill right now and drag racing and all that he's doing very little in nitro. He'll plug at certain things because he has a lot to offer as far as knowledge of A-scale nitro, but he doesn't have a current platform. He knows his low-Cs are, they're outdated. Great bashers, reliable, good platforms, but they're not ahead of the curve, I'll tell you that much. And they're not winning anything either. And low-C, even their new X, which is their new platform, where are they at? Here you go. Dakota Fan, great driver, won a lot of races. He's running a TLR and a pico. Well, see, there's pico. Picos are in the top 20, but again, those are .21s. Have little or nothing to do, even though same manufacturer, with a pico .28. So anyway, this is what's, Raja knows that since he races at his local track, he knows in order for him to compete, he's not going to do it with a low-C, not even a new low-C. Low-C, the best they can do after over a year of testing and running is 16th. They have, like I said, last year, I don't think they placed any podiums at all. So, and, they're on Horizon, so Horizon really doesn't care about racing, obviously, you can tell. I'm not saying that low-C isn't as bad. It's just, as far as racing competitiveness, low-C's not even close. So if you're race inspired and you race one of the two or both, there you go. X-Ray, Hot Bodies, Associated, Mugen, Jared Tebow. He didn't waste no time. He went from Kyosha to Techno, and he's 5th ranked in the world right now. Cavallari, which went from Associated, he's now with, right there, see that? S-Works. And then right behind him, you got 2 Kyoshas, another Mugen, and Associated. So, there you go. If you want what's top-notch in Nitro RC, there you go. X-Ray, Hot Body, Associated, Mugen, Techno. S-Works, you might want to take a look at. I've seen the S-Works. They're just, they took on Cavallari and this Juan Carlos guy here because they want to try to get up there. They know that in order for them to compete, they have to have some decent drivers. So, and I think Agama's getting in it now too, but and that's where, whatchamacallit, Ryan Lutz, there he is. The only Agama in the top 20, Ryan Lutz. From a Techno to an Agama. I hope it was worth it for him. Obviously, a lot of all this switching and stuff, there's a lot of switches going on this year. It has to do a lot with money. It's all about the coin, man. Well, whoever's going to pay these guys, they don't care if the platform's not well known or if even it's that good. They're going to do their best to get the most out of that platform. And at the end of the year, they'll say, you know what, this platform, is okay or it's good or has potential, or you know what, as soon as somebody offers me a penny more, I'm out. So I don't know I know a lot of the reasons guys jump ships as far as pro racing, it's money. It's all money, 99.9% of it. But there is some loyalty, These guys are loyal as long as they're taken care of. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you guys that because if you're race inspired or, and I've went over this in older videos, it's just been a while. This is what's winning right now. So if you're racing and you're thinking about racing or getting into racing, you might want to take a look at the standings here. Okay? OS, as far as motors, Orion, LRP, Maximums are OS motors, base motors, and then Reds, which Elliott Boots is still rocking the Reds, so he's still, being competitive, and Reds, you got, so, you got a little bit of everything. Pico's down in there too, so, anyway. Okay, just wanted to kind of share that with you guys before I get into this. So the guy, before we get into my final assessment on the Pico .28, I'm trying not to make these videos. My videos have been really long, and I do apologize for being so long-winded, but you guys know the Muggy Maniac. I babble a lot, and I try to stay on track, but so many things to talk about, because it seems like whenever I put out a video, I'm getting a lot of these guys. I don't want to call them critics, but and I know a lot of them are newbies. Just so you guys know, and if you should know or don't know, I've got over 35 years in this hobby and industry. As far as nitro, around 4 years. But electric, many years, when electric actually took some work. But that's a whole nother story. So anyway, I don't hate on people that run .21s. And this is what I told the guy, listen, once you run a .32, a .28, even a .25 modified, stock really, now I get where John's coming from. Stock doesn't do a lot for you, let alone anything smaller. Now, if you're a guy that runs a modified Novarasi .28 quality, or a Pico .28 modified, or you run an LRP .32 modified, and then you're interested in firing up a stock .15 and that does something for you, then hey, to each his own. Hey, whatever floats your boat. I don't know anybody that does anything for him once they've ran those motors. Okay? And the guy was saying, hey, he has modified, I don't know what he has, but he likes stock. I don't even too excited to fire up my Reds .21, and it's modified. Okay? This is a modified RB modified by Rick, sick, badass .21 Reds R5 Team Edition. It's a 5-port .21 of probably next to Novarasi, one of the best quality, not the biggest, quality made motors that I've ever seen. And I've taken apart all of these motors that I just mentioned. I've taken apart LRP .32s. I have an LRP .32 stock right there. Do I have any interest in firing it up stock? Hell no. That thing won't. I've already fired it up stock. I've already broke it in, ran barely a quart through it. It's going to be getting modified, here in the near future. I'm not in any hurry because I'm still trying to get, my Novarasi .28, a couple gallons, and get it dialed in. I've just begun to get the Pico .28 where I want it. Still, I'm going to run it one more time. One more good 5-6 tanks. And then after that, then I'm going to move on to the Rex Legend 28.8 modified, okay, by RB Mods, okay, and then we'll go back to the .21. And the only reason that I am excited even to fire up this modified .21 is it is modified, but it's I got it and got this motor built for this Mugen buggy, okay, so yeah. I don't know. I have .18s. I have a .25. I have a Hyper .21. I got 2 of those. Those are stock. I have a stock OS .21 badass that's going to get modified because I have no interest in firing it up stock. Like I said, if you run modifieds and you fire it up and ran a .32, a .28, or a .25 modified, and you've ran them and have all, and you've ran them plenty of times and bashed them or raced or whatever, and you're excited to go fire up a .15 or a .18, then hey, then to each his own. I just don't know anybody, none of my friends, and none of the people that I know on my channel that are serious nitro guys tell me that. So I'm taking this guy must be new. I've been following, like I said before, Mr. Bodegel since I've been in nitro for almost 4 years, coming on 4 years now. Eating, sleeping, breathing, shitting, sleeping. That's where I sleep. Eating. I got my little kitchen section here in my little nitro cave. And they don't do anything for me, you know? And like I said, that's me and nobody I know. But, again, you know, just to clarify it, if you run modified, big modified .28s and 32s and all that, and you get excited, and you get fired up, and you get pumped up of firing up a stock point, you know, 18 or a .21 or even a, you know, I'm not even excited about firing up an LRP .32 stock. It doesn't, I've already ran it stock. It's a great stock motor. Not as good as the Rex Legends, you know. The only other motor that I like firing up again is my stock .28 Rex Legend, because again, it's only for my muggy. Okay, so my muggy and my buggy, and my buggy doesn't even have a stock motor. I wouldn't even keep a stock .21 in that thing anymore. The only reason that there's nothing modified and that I'm keeping this, that I kept this Novarossi 28.8 stock, is because modified is this a lot of load on, you know, a platform that's, you know, almost 14 years old, and parts are harder than hell and take 2 to 3 months to get. So I'm not interested in shoving modifieds, and I have put them in here already, and, you know, beating down my muggy, because when I break shit, it's, you know, it's not go to my hobby shop or not even go online and get it. They're hard to get. I have plenty of extra parts. You know, it's an older platform. It's not the quality of a Mugen, definitely not the quality of a Techno. So, you know, that motor stock is okay. Does it get me as pumped as a modified 28 Rex Legend? Hell no. That's what the Mugen's for. So, anyway, like I said, each his own. If you run modified motors, big motors, again, and you get excited about firing up, you know, I call pea shooters, .21s, and .18s, and hey, to each his own. Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just, people compare them. It's comparing apples with oranges. It'd be like if I jumped in a Bugatti and I jumped in a Ferrari F1 and drove that thing, and then got in a Toyota 4-cylinder, and I was excited. I'll tell you what, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be like, why would I want to drive that? Do I want to drive the .21? I mean, do I want to drive the Toyota, or do I want to drive the Bugatti? I like the Bugatti and the Ferrari, okay? I like the V8s. The V6s, even, and the 4-cylinders, definitely, which would be the .21s or .18s, do nothing for me. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. If that works for you, and you get jacked up and fired up after running a modified big ass motor to go fire up a stock motor, then hey, then that's your thing. That's not mine, and none of my Nitro brothers that I know are like that. And we've all got plenty of stock motors, and I've got plenty of stock motors. I've got plenty of badass stock motors, but I have no interest in running them anymore, you know, until they're modified. I'm only interested in running modified motors, okay? It took me 3 years to get to that level, to where I didn't understand what John was talking about. Stock motors do nothing for me. Don't get me excited. If they get you excited, hey, kudos to you. So anyway, enough of that. I just want to get that clarified. So now, to get back to what this whole video is supposed to be about, I don't want to, you know, I just had to clarify those things, because I get a lot of new viewers and subscribers and guys that, you know, take it the wrong way. You know, they don't do a lot for me. If you want to run them, cool. I don't hate you. You know, I probably won't subscribe to your channel, because that ain't gonna do it. You're not. There's, you know, I subscribe to people's channels that I can learn from. If I can't learn anything from somebody, then I'm not gonna, you know, like RC Nerd. That guy, he used to have great videos. Now all his videos are all these weird voices and all this cinematography and all these flashy lights and all these bells and whistles and smoke and mirror. He used to run just pure, straight, educational, you know, knowledgeable videos. Now his videos are jokes. I just unsubscribed to him. I can't watch his videos anymore. You know, and he's got some beef with some guy. I think that he's still plugging on that. Kind of, you know, subliminally, but subliminal. If that, you know what I'm saying? In what he's trying to get across. But his videos are all the music and all the flashy lights and special effects. I don't want to see all that bullshit. You know, if I'm gonna, I go watch a movie or something. You know, or I'll go on Facebook. I hope YouTube's not turning into a Facebook. This is not a, you know, a drama, air your dirty laundry and you know, type of channel. That's not what my channel is. I'm here to help people out, teach people, pass on knowledge of what I learned from John, what I learned from Ty Testman, what I learned from Adam Drake, what I've learned from, you know, Mike Cullick, which is Elliot Boots' mechanic, what I've learned from all these professionals and racers and bashers. I learn a lot. Elite RC, even, you know, Raja 111, I learn from him all the time too. He's been around a while, you know. I'm just not running an entertainment video, man. So I'm just trying to pass on knowledge and my experience and to help people out. That's all this is for. So, you know, if you, like I said many times, if you don't like what I say, you know, if you get offended when I tell you that Traxxas is garbage, if you get offended when I tell you that, you know, a stock motor doesn't do shit for me, then, you know, hey, you might want to subscribe or, you know, go find somebody else's channel. I'm keeping it real, man. I will tell you and tell you guys over and over, I will keep it 100% real. I'm not blowing up smoke up nobody's ass, sticking to the facts. So anyway, I unsubscribed to him. There was another guy too. He's a full-on Losi guy. Now he wants to splice into the electric. If you're an E-word guy and you want to cross over, that's one thing. But if you're an E-word guy, an electric guy, and you know, and you're trying to give people that are in nitro advice, you know, you're not 100%. I really, it irks me the guys that have 1 foot in electric, 1 foot in nitro. Again, to each his own. If that works for you, that's fine. To me, it's a hybrid, you know, and I've done E-word many years before I did this, man. I'd rather do nitro, man. I like what's real. I like a real motor, you know. I like real pistons, you know, real fuel, spark plug, pipes, clutches, all that shit. Fumes, smell, sound, and feel. Nothing like it. Okay? So, anyway, the .28 Pico 7 port, P3 as it's called. This is a bad ass motor. Okay? When I first got this motor and I looked at it, I'm like, are you sure this is a .28? Because, I mean, come on. Let's compare it. We'll compare the size. I mean, just, we're going by looks. Okay, here's an LRP, .32. I mean, look at that. The head, the LRP looks like it wants to eat that. I mean, it's way bigger. Even the Red's cooling pins are bigger than the Pico. I mean, my OS. This is an OS, .21. Look at the head on that thing, man. It dwarfs that Pico. And that's a .21. So I really judged the book by its cover. I said, oh man, this Pico looks small, maybe, I don't know, blah, 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 because I never ran. Let me tell you one thing, okay? Let's go with the positives first. Or let's go with the negatives. Things that I don't like about this motor. There's only one thing that I don't like about this motor. Actually, two things. And I'm gonna be critical because I want to keep it real. Okay? 100%. This motor takes a lot of fuel. Originally, when I got this motor, friends of mine that had it, people that I know that had this motor, said, whatever you do, don't even break it in, don't run any fuel through it and then send it to Rick. Just keep it in, you know, don't even do nothing. Just send it to Rick, get it modded, and then break it in. And I was like, wait a minute, why? all my motors that I've gotten broken in, the Novarossi 28.8 that I got modded, I've had one stock. Okay, so I already know all about them stock. The Reds, same thing, stock. I had it, ran it. The LRP .32, stock, ran it. The OS, stock, ran it. Those two and one or two more motors. I might get 4 motors modded here in the next couple months. But anyway, this is the only motor that I own that I never ran before I got it modded. So I never ran this thing stock. So I can't tell you much about it stock. You know, I'm thinking of getting another one and running it stock and then sending it just so I know what they run like stock. You know, because not everybody's going to get it modified. Not everybody's ready for the next level. Okay. Now that's another thing too. Somebody said next level. What was some talk about next level? Okay. Here, let me explain to you. This is what I wrote it down so I can remind myself. This is what next level means. This is Webster's definition. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay. Surpassing others uncommonly good or impressive. Okay, so surpassing others means that you've gone to a different level. You're getting into modifieds. You're getting into to better quality platforms. Okay, impressive. Are you impressive? I don't know. I guess that would be to the person, whoever's, you know, making the judgment. My work, I think I get the results. The bottom line is, what are the results that you get? Is your shit run good? Is your shit last a long time? You know, or are you constantly having problems? I mean, all the issues that I have are normal stuff here and there. You know, the only thing that happened on this thing, again, rookie mistake, is I didn't Loctite the outer drive in here. Man, this thing, look at that mud. I gotta clean this thing. As soon as I'm done with this video, man, this bitch is getting torn apart. Look at that. This is turning into cement. I haven't cleaned this thing yet. The only thing I pulled out was the tank, like I always do. I always pull the tank out, clean all the fuel out of the fuel lines, put 3-in-1, or I use Marvel's Mystery Oil. A couple drops in here, a couple drops in the carburetor. Turn it over a few times, seal it back up. Good. This motor still has to be clean though, on the outside. And the pipe. I can clean my pipe out too. This thing's filthy. So yeah. The .28 is very tight, man. This thing still, I've got a gallon through it, okay? And still, if I rotate the piston and I just barely touch the sleeve, it sticks. It gets stuck. That's how tight this thing is. And that's after a gallon. Everybody told me, if you don't get this thing modified, it's going to take you 2 gallons just to get a tune on it. Okay, I'm getting a pretty dang close. I probably got a 98% decent tune of where I want it and where I think it's tuned. And I've got a gallon through it. So that's the reason that I just sent it in. And I could see why, because this motor is so tight, man. It is still tight. My Novarossi, the Red, the other motors that I have weren't this tight breaking in. None of them. Not even the LRP .32 wasn't even this. This motor is tight. But when it's tight like that, that's not a bad thing. It just, this motor is going to last a long time. So that is the only negative. You got to run a lot of fuel through this thing before you can get it to where you know, at least run a gallon through it. Okay, it's just a really tight motor. The other thing is this carburetor is a little finicky. Not a lot, but it's not. This carburetor isn't the quality of a Novarossi carburetor. Okay, and for the record, Novarossi carburetors, that's why you can put them on an LRP 30. You can put a Novarossi. I'm going to try to see if I can put a Novarossi carburetor, the same one on the Rex Legend, on this thing. If it works and it fits, man, I'm running it. Not that this is a bad carburetor, just like the Novarossi carburetors, man. You don't have to do nothing. You never touch, I've never touched, on my modified or my stock, I've never touched the low end speed needle. Ever. Okay? Or the idle. Right out of the box, stock, even when you get it modified, all you're messing with is your high end needle. That's it. And once it's tuned there, it stays there, man. It doesn't. The Pico and the Reds, great motors, but they fluctuate a little bit. Okay, they're a little bit more finicky. Not a lot. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I'm just being, you know, technical, and I'm being nitpicky because it doesn't tune as easily as the Novarossi carburetor. But other than that, you know, I wish it, I mean, they make I think, I'm going to try to find it, they make a turbo button head for this so you can run turbo plugs in it. I wish this thing was a turbo plug. It would probably get a lot better performance, but this thing runs strong. It has the same, pretty much, maybe a little bit less, not much, a little bit less torque than the Rex Legend 28.8. A little bit less, but not much. This thing pulls the front end of this thing, and like I said before, to pull the wheels up, the front end up on a truggy takes a lot. A Techno, it takes even more because the motor is almost center. Look at the motor. It's almost in the center of the, you know, most truggies, the motors are back about right here. Okay? The Technos, their motor's up farther. It's almost like a mid-engine. It's crazy. That's why it handles like a buggy. That's why these things, when you jump them, they're balanced very well. I haven't got much air on it. I've got a little air here and there, but I still want to get this thing, you know, going off roofs. And I plan on it in time. Most important thing right now is that I just get this motor nice and broken in. But other than that, the 28.8, man. Oh, and the price, you can get these brand new on eBay right now for I think shipped to your door, $150 or less, 140 something, $140 shipped to your door. But keep in mind, they don't come with a plug. You don't have a plug that comes with it. Plug that was recommended to me by Rick at RB Mods is either a number 5 Novarossi standard plug. Okay, standard glow plug, not a turbo. Number 5 or number 4. I'm running a 4 in it right now because the weather's cold. Now, when the summer comes and it gets hot, I might go back to the 5 or I might keep it a 4. These motors like to run really hot. This thing doesn't start humming and singing and hitting high notes, and this thing seems like it gains more power when it gets up around 250. And with the weather being as cold as it is over here, it takes a time to get it, you know, you're almost just running tank after tank after tank after tank to get this thing up to about 250, okay, or over 200. So it's the same thing with my Reds. My Reds, the Reds modified .21 over there in the Mugen, that thing, like closer to 300, man. That's when that thing just starts screaming and just gets nasty. So that's my assessment. The 28.7 Pico is a badass motor. I recommend it. If you can't afford the $200 for the Novarossi 28.8, which the quality is better, okay, the carburetor is easier to tune, and it comes with a plug and it's turbo, okay. Those are the differences. This one, the carburetor, takes a little bit more tuning, and has a turbo plug, and it's what, $40 cheaper, something like that. It's a great motor, man. I'm thinking of getting another one. Matter of fact, I probably will. I'm probably going to get another one of these, and yeah, it's well worth it, man. For what I paid for that motor, well worth it. Pico, it's Italian. What can I say? Best quality, man. That's another thing. People, you know, OS this and OS and Maximum and all these motors. Again, those are .21s. You know, all of the rice burner motors, they're rice burners. Nobody makes a big rice burner motor besides LRP. LRPs are not Italian. They're not German. LRPs are Asian motors. I think they're made in China still, which is where they've been made since they've been around. When Rick was telling me they used to be made in China, I think they're still being made in China. and that's evident obviously because of the shitty quality that you guys seen in the past of the LRPs with the porting, the shitty porting job that the work that they do. So LRP is a great motor, and I can't wait to get mine modded. Just it's not the quality of a Novarossi. So again, the Novarossi 28.8, pound for pound, buck for buck, dollar for dollar, frickin' easy to tune, lasts forever, best quality. It's not always quantity, man. Okay? Quantity would be the .32. Obviously, it's a bigger motor. Okay? But quality? Man, I'd rather go with the quality, even though it's a little bit smaller. Okay? Quality over quantity any day. Okay? And that's my assessment on the Pico. Okay? 28.7 P3 Pico. Must have it. Buy it. Get it modded. It'll be less than $300 modified. Okay? Carburetor's fine. I'm going to let you guys know if a Novarossi fits on there and if it works on there. Why not? Not that this carburetor is bad, just the Novarossis are the best carburetors, period. Nobody makes a carburetor like Novarossi. Nobody. And that's coming. I have 3 of them, so just easy to tune. Stays tuned. Always. So anyway, this thing is getting tore down, obviously. The Muggy Maniac, you can see, we got my surgical tools out. Got everything ready to rock and roll. We're going to clean this bitch. Start getting into it and getting it clean, man. I'm going to pull the motor out, clean that next. Air filter, check it and everything. And my normal routine. Cleaners, here you go. 99-cent store. You get a bunch of I need some brand new ones. Those ones are getting beat up. Brand new whole set of, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 paintbrushes, 99 cents. Q-tips, use them all the time. Alcohol, great, man. Cleans and doesn't harm plastics or anything. Not a hard, heavy degreaser, but it's great for cleaning anything. I use CRC products. They're silicone. I love it. Johnson's makes some cheap, inexpensive, $3 a can. Silicone. Simple Green always. This is my favorite silicone if you want it nice and shiny and freaking bling blinging your plastic. Use this shit. Home Depot, $4. It's got Teflon in it. Can't go wrong. And for my stainless steel and any chrome or anything like that, titanium, 3M, baby. Great for your pipe. So, that's about all that's going right now in the cave. We're going to run this again one more time. I'm not done with this thing yet. And then I can't wait because it's been a minute. We're going to get the MBX7 Mugen and the Novarossi modified 28.8. Bam! Get that thing fired up. And then who knows? I might mess around with the Muggy again too. And then it's going to be time for the buggy, man. I can't neglect my children. You guys have heard me before, man. I want to give my platforms equal share. None of these things, I can't let them turn into no shelf bitches. I didn't spend thousands of dollars on all this stuff to let it sit around and collect dust. Hell to the no. Like I said in my last video you guys seen, man, that felt so good to fire this thing up. Man, I could have stayed out there forever. I could have ran gallons through this thing, but I only had so much time to do it. Oh yeah, and by the way, check this out, man. You want to see a classic? I got a buddy of mine, just got into nitro, another newbie in the nitro, and he picked up this little beater. It's a Sen is the company, C-E-N, Sen. It's called a Genesis Limited Edition. This thing here is a beast, man. You know, only thing is that, you know, it's a pull start. You know, he couldn't get it running. The pull start was broken, and you know, I fixed it for him. So, you know, we got this baby running. It felt so weird. I haven't pulled started a nitro motor in almost 4 years, man. And I'll talk about a rookie. I just replaced the pull start, and I'm afraid I was going to break the damn thing again, man, because you got to, you know, those of you guys that run fifth scale, you know how it is. If you're not, I'm just not used to it because I haven't had a pull start on nitro motors. That was the first thing I got rid of when I got into nitro 4 years ago. Almost 4 years ago was the damn pull start, because mine kept breaking, and then the motor I had through a rod, and that was it. That's when I got my Rex Legend, first quality motor, backplate, and I never looked back, man. Pull starts, rotor starts, that's all a waste of time. But with monster trucks, that's the only way you can do it, man. That's why I haven't got really. I thought about getting a Savage because, you know, I like monster trucks. You know, it's nitro, right? You know. But this motor, this thing is a beast, man. Look at this thing. It's a 7.7. This thing is like a .40, man, or something. But it doesn't have a lot of RPMs. It's just real torquey. You know, it's designed for this thing. Probably weighs as much as a Fisker. I think this thing weighs about 30 pounds. But anyway, it runs. It just doesn't continue. It doesn't. It fires up and it runs, but it wants to die out. Just the fuel he has in here, this fuel's no good. I don't want to run that fuel anymore. I might have to tune it for him. But, yeah, so doing some side work for a newbie nitro brother here. And, you know, that's what it's all about, man. It's about helping your brothers out, man. People are probably like, is that the Muggy Maniac? Did you just get this? Hell no. I mean, it's cool. But, you know, because it's a nitro, but that pull start shit, man, screw all that. Hell no. I will never buy another motor with a pull start. I probably will never have a Savage or a monster truck, just because I can't deal with the pull start shit. Man, this just nags me out. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I'm going to try to get this guy get him to, you know, at least get to the rotor start. The rotor starts still suck. Balls, but they're not as bad as the pull starts. At least you don't have to worry about the pull starts breaking. Just the rotor starts, you got to worry about the one-way bearing taking a shit on you too. So, but anyway, you know, it's a big old monster, big old boat. So, yeah, helping him out, getting it all dialed in for him, you know. And it's perfect, man, because I get to teach him and I get to share that passion and that love that I have for nitro and explain to him, you know, all the do's and don'ts and how do you take care of it, and, you know, telling him how to set the piston bottom dead center, you know, because he doesn't know anything, you know, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, you know, it is what it is, you know. You got to start somewhere, I guess, you know. I'm just glad I didn't have to start with something like this. I mean, they don't even make these anymore. I guess when they came out, they were like at the top of their level. Sen Genesis limited edition boat. Man, this thing is I thought the Muggy was a pig. No, this thing is a freaking behemoth hog, man. All right, people, that's it. I got to get clean in this thing, man. This thing can't set any longer. It's already been setting since yesterday. This thing needs to be clean, big time. So anyway, that's all I got. Yeah, the 28.7 Pico is a badass motor. It's Italian. What else can I say? Very little issues at all with it, you know, as far as what I explained. Still isn't where the 28.8 Rex Legend is, but it's right there, man. As far as performance, power, torque, it's a badass motor, man. I really like this motor. So, like I said, I like it so much, I'm probably going to get another one. So, that's my take. And the only other thing that happened is one of my pins came out, and my wheel's almost coming off there. And other than that, just make sure, people, man, especially when you get into modifieds, anything, like I said, that screws into steel to steel or metal to metal, Loctite that shit. Don't be lazy, man, like me sometimes. Okay, and don't think, oh, I have this thing so tight, this thing ain't never coming loose. You want to bet? It's happened to me plenty of times. So, anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm going to run this thing again. And then get into the Novarossi and get the Mugen out there running. So, it's raining right now. I knew it was going to start raining, so it's time for me to get this thing wrenching and hopefully be clear this weekend. So, that's about all I got. Shouts out to all my brothers out there, Raja, Elite, you know, All the guys that are putting in the time, putting in the work in Nitro, in 8th scale. You know, Don Foss, you know, he's got some projects going. Brewer, he's got stuff going. You know, other guys, I don't know what they're doing. Hey, you know what? Whatever entertains you, man. I didn't spend, like I said again, thousands and thousands of dollars to let my shit sit around and collect dust, man. I gotta run my Nitro shit at least minimum once a week, bare minimum, man. And I was getting over a week right there for a minute, man. I thought I was gonna, like, man, I was gonna have to freaking go to counseling. But anyway, that's all I got. Let me get to cleaning, people. Enough of my babbling and everything. So, like I said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.